Okay, welcome back to Blender, guys. So, what we're doing today is we're making a potion bottle. So, this is part of the gaming kind of series that I was doing. I'm just kind of doing a little bit of an interweaving of gaming items every so often. So, within this tutorial, we're going to be basically just making a glass bottle. So, we're going to go ahead and delete the default cube. And I'm going to go ahead and add a circle. So starting with a circle for me is just a lot better than say starting with the UV sphere really. So for this particular tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and just turn on these screen keys because I've not put it on. So I'm going to split this so you guys can see what's going on that side, and then I'll work on this side as per usual. So one is just a side view. And what I'm going to do, select all of these, press F just for fill. And then I'm going to go E for extrude. What I want to do is just make a bulb to begin with, just a bulb base. So we're going to go outwards just on this side, E for extrude, scale outwards. So make sure you don't go too far up at the sides, but just enough so that we've got this nice little bulb going on. So what I would suggest, instead of doing like little bits like this, maybe we could go with G, just bring it up, and just scale this outwards so that it's nice and big. I'll leave the small parts to the bevels. So let's take that up, E for extrude, and then we can kind of just S for scale, bring it round. We can add more vertices in here if you want to. Control R, just in the middle right here, and just press S. Just scale it outwards a little bit. Control R right here. Just scale that one outwards a little bit, and then we can Control R right here. And I think I'm going to do one more cut just at the bottom. Just about here. So now we've got kind of got this very nice spherical looking shape. We're going to take the top again. I'm just going to bring this down. We've got E for extrude, S to scale inwards, E for extrude, S to scale inwards, and once you get to this part right here, just start scaling a little bit less inwards. So you're making this nice little curve that's going across the top. And we're just going to go E for extrude. I think we'll take this in just one little piece more, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the X-ray mode on just for the moment. I'm going to take these and just press G, bring it down just slightly so we've got that nice spherical bowl continuing its pattern right there. We're going to go E for extrude, bring it right up. Just scale inwards just a little bit, and then this will be the funnel for the top. So what I'm going to do again, just take this down, maybe scale it just inwards just slightly, bring this in. And then I'm going to take this and just press G, bring it down once more. Take this face right at the top here. So this is going to be the funnel for the top. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go E for extrude, scale outwards, E for extrude, and then scale outwards again. You can actually scale pretty far with this if you wanted to. Then E for extrude. So we're just making the lip of the bottle right here. E for extrude again. We can scale this inwards just slightly. E for extrude, scale it inwards. E for extrude, scale inwards. And then we can go E for extrude. And what we're going to do, just slightly scale it inwards. If you put the X-ray on, you can see on the inside right here as well. So now we're just going to go E for extrude, bring it all the way down, if you have enough space. So just scale it inwards just slightly, just there. E for extrude, bring it all the way down. And then we're just going to trace the inside of the bottle right here. So just leave a tiny little gap around the edge as much as you can. And what you want to do, when you reach the bottom of the little bottle right here, you want to make it a little bit thicker. So quite thin glass on the top. And as you're going down, just make it thicker and thicker. Just going to go ahead and move that across. Oops. E for extrude, S for scale. And then we just do the bowl right here. Just bring this outwards. Might take you some time, just follow it across. Just take it in just here, and then once we get to this point, we're just going to make this a little bit thicker at the bottom and just round it off inside the actual piece itself. So, S for scale, oops, I think I messed up there. E for extrude, S for scale, E for extrude, and then we're going to go S for scale and bring that right back in at the bottom there. So now we have this nice little bulb kind of potion thing. So we're going to go right click, shade smooth. So now we want to make this look like glass. So I always work with cycles. So if your render engine's anything different, just change it to cycles for the moment. Unless you've got an idea of what you want to do in another render engine. So we've got Principled BSDF right here under the Materials tab. We're going to change this to Glass BSDF. I'm also going to go ahead and add a plane into the bottom of here so that you guys can see the glass a little bit better. Click your objects back right here, change the roughness all the way down, and we'll just go to the Render tab that's located right up here at the top. So now we can see that we have a nice little jar, nice little potion jar, for whatever you'd like to put in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a cork to this. So if we go to cylinder, press G, bring it up, scale it so that it fits just into the neck of the bottle right there. You might want to extrude this just a little bit, but what we're going to do, take this top face right here. I'm just going to scale this outwards and then E for extrude, and you can just kind of make this a small little rim just around the outside and just pull it in so we've got that nice little bevel going on. You can also do the same to the bottom. Right click shade smooth. For this one in particular, you can do some texture on this if you want to. So we're going to call this cork. And we'll just go ahead, just make this like a dark brown or something. So that when we render this, you've now got this nice little cork sass in the top, and you've got the bowl right here. So what we can do as well, we can go into X-ray mode. We can go add. Let's go with a cylinder. What you want to do, just press 1 so it goes sideways. Scale this down. Just zoom in a little bit. We press G. And what you want to do is go to edit mode. Take the top face right here. Just press 1 to go sideways again. Just press G to bring it down. And S for scale. And just very gently go around the outside of this. So we're going to go E for extrude. Scale outwards. E for extrude. And then we go scale outwards. Just try and get it so that you're following the edges of the glass. Just as such. And then we're going to go E for extrude. And now, if we take this, go to this materials tab right here, right click shade smooth, go to the materials tab, this will be the liquid. And we can have this maybe as like a kind of green, like a swamp green. Turn your roughness down, your metallic up, and then turn your alpha down just by slight. And what you should have when you hit the render is a little bottle with some green liquid in it, for potions or whatever you want to use it for. So what you have here as well, all these white lines, if you didn't know, these are the reflections of the plane that we have right here. This little white dots right here, they're the lights that we have just up here, just right there. And also you can see like the edges of the plane right there. You've got the liquid in the middle. Now if you wanted to change the glass, you can mess around with the IOR, which will change the way that the glass looks. So you could have it like this with no reflection. You turn up your IOR. You've got more of a reflection coming through, however you're not seeing the object as much, and you've got a lot of dark patches right here. It's something that you don't really want. You want to have a nice crisp, kind of clean. You don't want this, you want something in the middle. So you want that shade underneath, but you want that kind of bevel around the outside of the light coming in as well. You want a mixture of the two. You can also rough this up. So if you pull the roughness right here, it becomes cloudy. If you take it back down, obviously you can see the liquid. If you go full roughness, then you can kind of see what's inside of there, but it's kind of a mystery. So I guess if that's the look that you're looking for, or you're looking to go for, then that might be what you'd want. I'm just going to take mine down to there, and I think I messed around my IOR too much, so I'm just going to pull this up. I think I'm just going to go with maybe 110, 1.1. I think that would be the best one. So, as regards to your lighting as well, to make this look a little bit more shinier and a little bit more round, we can actually do a really neat lighting trick that I use. We could take a cylinder, rotate this round by 90, scale this across, scale it down, and what you're going to do, you're going to make tube lighting just to go across the top. Now, if you make this correctly, and you have multiple of these, you can change the lighting as needed, and you can also change the colour of the lighting as well. So before I duplicate this, I'm going to go ahead and go new, and this one will be the tube lighting. So with this one, you want to change it from principal BSDF to emission. Just change up the strength a little bit. Now if you go press 7 to heaven, let's go with Shift D. We'll just move across to that one. It doesn't really matter where they go unless you want them uniform. It's cool anyway, really. So once we've got this little bit of lighting up here, if we take this light right here, I'm just going to turn it off for now. Just press 0. And if we relight the scene, we now have this kind of nice lighting coming across. And also this lighting is now interacting with the glass itself, so we can see what's going on with the glass. Now if we take the glass and we mess around with the IOR, we can also see these lines starting to appear on the glass as well, starting to curve around the glass, so it's going to give you more depth. So you can also change the glass colour as well, if you wanted it purple, pink, blue. I'm going to maybe go for a little bit more of a dark grey, or a light grey. See what happens, because your liquid right here is actually more reflective than everything on the outside, which is kind of throwing it off a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and select the liquid, and I'm just going to turn down the metallic ever so slightly, and maybe just pull that alpha just a little bit, or maybe keep the alpha but just pull that metallic ever so slightly. Because you've got the shine of glass, you've got the shine of the liquid. And you don't want the liquid to outshine the glass, because it's going to kind of throw off the 3D effects that you're trying to get with these little tube lights. You can also take these tube lights and duplicate them even more if you wanted to. So if we go 7 to heaven, let's take this one, this one, this one, this one, and we could Shift D it, duplicate that over to that side, Shift D, and duplicate over to this side. So now, in theory, we should have a glass that's got a little bit more bend to it, as you can see. So what you can do as well is, if you put the camera, so I don't think we got rid of the camera out of the scene. If we say align view, align active camera to view. So if we just press G, bring it back. So now, if I just get rid of this one, so you guys can see what's going on. We have, on the camera options, as long as you've got the camera selected, we have on the camera options, just in the drop down right here, if you check this box, you take the little pipette, just at the side, and you want to select object, which for this one is circle, because I didn't name it. We can then select the jar itself, and then we can actually adjust the f-stop so that it blurs the background. So the lower the f-stop, the more blurred the background will be, the higher the f-stop, everything will just be in focus. So we now have this nice little jar going on. You notice that everything's a little bit blurry. If you can't do this on the render tab, do this on this tab, which is one next door to it. We can turn this up a little bit. So now we've got this nice little shine. We have a blurred background right here. I could actually scale this upwards, and maybe we could put this on as, I'm just going to put base for this one, just to experiment, and maybe make this slightly metallic. So now we have this kind of effect going on where we've got this little bit of shadow, a little bit of shade. We turn down the roughness. We can now see, if we go all the way, we can now see the jar on the reflection. We can also see the lighting, but the jar will be the main focus. So now we've got this nice little kind of white to grey blend right here. It's not too sharp. So now it makes the jar look a little bit better as well. And if I just, let's see, if I just take this lighting right here and I just elongate it just slightly, it actually might make this look better. So if we just press and we go across, and then maybe I could take this Shift D and just duplicate again, just on this side, just to fill a bit of that background in. We now have a little bit of depth starting to appear. Let's see, let's select all of these. Come on, it won't let me shift the camera. There we go. Okay, so we can elongate this as well to give some more depth to the actual piece itself. If this is too much light for you, we can go to the emission. So you want to select one of these. You notice that the colour is white right here, the emission's right here. So you can go ahead and just turn that down. You can turn it off if you want to. You can have it super bright if you wanted to. For me personally, I kind of like the way that we had it. If you want to change the colour of any of these emissions, we just go to the colour tab right here, and you can change the colour to practically anything that you want. You want a nice deep purple, you got the nice deep purple right there. If you want the green, we got the nice deep green, the red, the orange, you know how it goes. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to give it a slight blue tint. Actually no, to offset that green I might do it a little bit red. Just a pinch red. Just like a cool kind of pink. So now you'll see that it's kind of all loading in. There's a lot of noise going on and stuff like that. If you want to get rid of the noise, we can go to this tab right here, which is render. You can click the denoise. That generally works. Also, I think it's a little bit too bright on this base right here. So maybe we could just tone that down a little bit. Just contrast that up a little bit more. I think that would look cool. Because right now, it's not rendered fully. So you won't see all the colours popping out of this. But, yeah. So I do like this green, but I feel like it could be a little bit more. I feel like you could have like a little bit of a glow from this as well. If you wanted a glow from the liquid that's inside of the tub, or the bottle, change it to emission. Works wonders. But I think we'll go for this right now. Also, if you want to change this cork right here, you could try out a noise texture on the shading tab. We could try that actually. Yeah, I think shading tab for this one. So you got Principal BSDF. Just link up a. You know what? I could show you. Let's show and tell. All right. So this is a shading tab. So we've come from layouts, which is at the top right here, to shading on this side. So when we're doing this cork right here, all we need to do is go to add right here. You want noise texture right here. Add color to base color. See if you can see that properly. And then what we want to do is go to, let's go color ramp, spelled the American way. COLOR. You want to place this in between, and then you want to add a bump node. So bump node should go right there. So now you can see what's the setup's the way that it is. You've got all these little spots on there that you can make bigger, you can make smaller. So when you've got this right here, to make these pop out a little bit, you want to go ahead and add the colour to the height of the bump node. So now you've got all these little bumps going on. You want to take the roughness and pull it up, and maybe have just a slight bit of metallic. From here you want to go plus, and then we're going to add kind of like a kind of grainy, kind of orange, yellowy, red kind of colour right here. You can add more if you want to, so you can take this one and you can make this a bit deeper, make this a bit lighter. If you wanted to, you could add algae. You can take this one, you can make it green. Just pull that up, a little bit of algae farming on the side of the cork right there. Maybe it's been left in the sun for too long and things have started to grow on it. Yeah? See the algae? Right, so we've got the layout as well. So when we go back to this, we should now have a little bit of light refraction coming off this. If it's too much of a light refraction, just go ahead and just turn down your metallic on that particular object. Just make it a little bit rougher. Also, neat trick. Imagine there has been a wizard and he's been making potions and he's been putting all these things inside of it, and maybe he didn't mix it properly. And so, telling stories about your objects is a great thing, but you could put into this potion maybe some leaves and stuff like that. So to do that, we could go to curve, and then we could go sample tree gen, and it will always appear there. Don't click off it, because you're going to need this little box right down here to change everything. And we don't need the main tree, we just need the leaves. So bear with me. We're going to go to geometry, click leaves, show leaves, and now we've got all these leaves coming up, right? So that's all we need. Just take the main tree, press delete, take these leaves, just shrink them down to roughly that, and we're just going to take it and we're just going to put it inside. And then we'll go to the materials tab, we'll click new, and then maybe we'll put this as a dark green. Maybe these leaves absorbed a lot of water, and the wizard who left them in there was careless and they started to rot. I don't know. Tell a story with your stuff. So now we've kind of got this algae growing on the top right here, and we can just see these leaves. So you can't really see the leaves that well. So what you can do to combat this is take the liquid that you have, and your alpha's all the way up right here, or at least my alpha's all the way up. Just turn down your alpha, and hopefully we should be able to see these leaves starting to appear right here, just at the back. So maybe just tone down that alpha just a little bit more, make it a little bit more see-through. Obviously the lighting needs to come in and stuff like that, and if this is too reflective then maybe you won't see it, but to be honest with you, I can just about see it just in there. So maybe these lights, we could turn them down just a little bit. it is a bit too funky. Let's select the lights and see if turning this down affects our results. It's like the noise is coming in and everything like that. I mean, you can go to the render tab. I think I've got denoise on here. If I didn't have this on here, it would be a little bit more noisy, I think. You've also got denoise on this side as well, which kind of reminds me of the way the AI paints things. So yeah, it gives you a little bit more clarification really, but not much. You're kind of waiting a little bit longer for this one to kind of process. But yeah, go have fun with it. See what you can make. And I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Please subscribe and yeah, follow whatever's going on your side. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.